Hello, my name is Rob Sampson, and today we're going to talk about using flashcards in Pukhto learning. Flashcards are super powerful. It's a good way to learn. You can use both paper and digital flashcards to learn vocabulary, whole sentences, verbs, and much, much more. Critically, they give you instant feedback about how you're doing, and they encourage repetition. As the Romans said, repetitio est mater studiorum. Repetition is the mother of learning. And in Western education, we tend to minimize repetition, but it's extremely helpful for language learning. Today, I'm going to talk about two things: how to make great flashcards, 6 tips, and then also introducing you to one of the digital flashcard tools that I recommend, and then next lesson we're gonna see how to use it practically. So first of all, great flashcards. 6 of Rob's tips. Number 1, make them yourself. There's something magic about a flashcard that you've written using your words, your images. I think scientifically it's proven that it creates a neural pathway in your mind to help you retrieve it easily if it feels familiar to you. Number 2, 1 card, 1 question. Recall is all about challenging yourself to do battle with one specific thing at a time, and then checking to see whether you won or lost, and putting them into 2 piles, the losing pile and the winning pile. I remember just recently I went to Kenya. I needed to learn some Swahili really quickly for a trip where there was just going to be Swahili spoken, and I just cut some audio and visual things off the internet, used it on the plane, checking one thing at a time, and by the time the plane landed, I had enough Swahili to survive on the expedition. Number 3, use audiovisual. We learn that, again, this is scientific, we learn best with images, colors, especially great audio. Memory is served by anchoring the mind in specific anchor points mentally, and a great flashcard system is one that hits the eyes, hits the mind, the brain in many different ways, and in ears, particularly for fluent speech. Fluency comes from repeating things that you've heard again and again, like a baby. And by the way, choose things that are interesting to you, that are not boring. They're cute, they're funny, they're shocking even. So, audiovisual. 4th, context. Context is king for flashcard learning. The brain doesn't hold things in a vacuum, except not for long anyway. But the pictures and the audio that are somehow personal to you, using your phone to take pictures of something you've learned, or audio from your friend, has a personal context to it. And so it's more powerful. It sticks. Pictures and audio have memories that make things easy to remember. Number 5, spaced repetition. We have a German psychologist to thank for helping us to use flashcards at their best. His name was Ebbinghaus. He calculated how long it takes us to forget things. He called it the forgetting curve. And he realized that if you recall things, say a new fact you just learned, just at the moment when you're about to forget it, that it refreshes it. And if you keep repeating a particular piece of information you're trying to learn just at the right moment, with the right interval, the right period of time between that question, that you'll get 100% recall. The fancy word for this is spaced repetition. And there are all kinds of clever algorithms for using a card repeatedly in this way. And one of the oldest is called the Leitner box. Leitner. Basically, it just helps you modify the time period between which you use flashcards. I've put a link on a great video by Thomas Frank about how to use the Leitner box if you're using paper cards. Super helpful. And the good news is that digitally, electronic flashcards like Anki, the one I'm going to show you, have built-in spaced repetition for you. They shuffle the cards whether you fail or pass the particular quiz test on that word, and then put them back in the right time interval. And it saves you doing the calculations. And sixth thing is, say your answers out loud. In fact, the louder the better. I had a French teacher who taught us this way, and he used to insist that when we stand up to say something, we say it with confidence, because that way you can't trick yourself into thinking you kind of know it, but you don't. And also the other thing is that it cements in your mind when you say it loud. It's like saying it live to somebody else. It cements it in your brain. So 6 tips. Make it yourself. 1 card at a time. Use audiovisual. Use context. Something personal to you really helps. Spaced repetition. And finally, be bold. Act it out. Say it loud with real vigor. Okay. Question you might have. Should I use paper or digital? I would recommend that you use both. Start with both. Have a season when you use digital, or just use the paper, and then see how you go. There are pluses and minuses on both sides, and some of us do better with other system than another. But the main thing is, what are you going to use consistently? There's no point in doing a lot of work making digital images and blah, blah, blah if you never use them. So what's going to work for you? Only you can tell. Both of them are great. Let's just talk briefly about digital. I'm going to talk more about it next session. They have the huge advantage of linking in the audio with the question. That's absolutely huge for fluency. They also manage, like I mentioned, spaced repetitions are no problem for them. It's effortless. They do it all for you. There are several versions for digital flashcards. The one I'm recommending that we use for this course is Anki. It's free. It synchronizes nicely between your phone and your computer, and it has all the tools that you need, and it's pretty easy to use once you've practiced it. So we go to the Anki app. We look for the thing that we're learning. Let's say Rob's learning Swahili. And this is how the app works. It gives you I've entered this in, so there's the question that I've been asked to say, and I give it a shot. I say something in Swahili, and I've completely forgotten this. Kidogo, maybe. Show your answer. And when you think you say it out loud, and you show the answer that you think it is. Whoops.
Haraka.
Haraka, that's the answer. And then it gives you this wonderful option. So I didn't get it. It puts it back again really quick. I just completely missed it. In this case, I would have pushed the red one. It was hard for me to say. It took me a little while. It puts it away 13 days away. It was really good. 1.6 months. It was just so easy, 4 months away. So it puts it away at different times. In this case, I completely flunked it. So on the page below, I've sent you the links. I've added the links for how to download it on your laptop, on your phone. And also I highly recommend that you're at the bottom of a learning curve. So view some of the videos that Anki has produced to help you learn how to use it best. And in the next video, I'm going to show you how to use Anki to load up 40 power phrases in Pukhto so that you can start learning right away. See you next time.